Hello, everyone, and welcome, and thanks so much for being here today. My name is Julie Dreisinger. I'm the Program Manager with the Business and Education Partnership of Waterloo Region. We are a local charity that helps young people in our community explore and experience careers. We want to acknowledge today that we're broadcasting from the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Neutral people. We honor and respect the First Peoples of Canada and strive to learn from their example. The goal of today's event is to assist you with the next steps by educating you on the services, resources, and contacts available after graduating from the OYAP program. You will be receiving a follow-up email with the presentation attached and a list of contacts and useful websites. For privacy, your video and audio will remain off, but you can type your questions through the Q&A feature located in the bar at the bottom of your screen. We will do our best to answer as many questions as possible with the time allowed. I'm going to ask that you wait until the end. If you have a question, you can type it in. We may not answer it until we get to the end of all the presentations, and then we will address those. I would like to now introduce you to Nicole Sousa, Employment Specialist at Starling Community Services, formerly Lutherwood. Welcome to Nicole.
Thanks, Julie. Let me just quickly get set up. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. As Julie mentioned, my name is Nicole Sousa, and I work with Starling Community Services. We were more formally known as Lutherwood. So this is our new name. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what Starling does. So we're an integrated employment service delivery program. So what that means is we offer one-to-one help for any individual that's registered with us to explore a different career option, find a job, or keep a job. So some of the supports that you would receive with our program is things like career planning, career exploring, goal setting, assistance with writing resumes and cover letters, assistance with job interviews, so different tips and preparation techniques, and then different ways to access the hidden job market. You get information about local employers, the skilled trade apprenticeship, okay? And we also offer placements, so some of the jobs might qualify for those as well, okay? So that typically looks like meeting with an employment advisor, an employment specialist, according to your needs and availability. Usually it's between or every 2 to 3 weeks. To register for our services, it is free, but it does take between 45 minutes to an hour. And then part of the eligibility is you must be currently unemployed or working less than 20 hours a week, and you must not be in full-time school. Through Employment Ontario, we also offer Better Jobs Ontario, which is a funded grant to attend training. That has a different set of eligibility and suitability, and there would also be an employment advisor on site who could assist you with that as well. Okay. So as I mentioned, our services are free as we're funded by the ministry. We also have resource centers in all 3 of our sites. This is where you can access computers. You can write up a cover letter, write up a resume. These are self-directed. We do have a resource advisor on site as well. They can do minimal changes, but most of the time it's self-directed. We run workshops. We have job fairs, different events. Currently, we're running a weekly workshop on the hidden job market and how to job search. One-to-one support with a employment service team. So with an employment advisor and consultant or employment specialist, consultant, or advisor. Okay. Connections with employers through those job placements, and then the Better Jobs applications. So connecting with services, what our employment advisor is going to do in terms of supporting you is they're going to assist you with things like writing your resume, cover letter, learning how to tailor your resume. They're going to identify in-demand skills in the trades. So whatever trade you're looking for specifically, they'll help you develop a resume for that trade. They'll help you go through some effective job search strategies. assist you in preparing for interviews, and then assist with any education and training options and exploring those. So from our employment consultant side, so what support are they going to offer you? So the primary role of our employment consultants is to connect with both employers and job seekers to support hiring needs for both the employer and the client. So the goal is to make those connections with the job seekers and employment opportunities by accessing the hidden job market, trying to match your skills and your employment career volunteer goals as much as possible with those that an employer is looking for and the candidate that they're trying to find. This can be difficult, obviously, because employers do get many applications through different ways. So our job is to really get in there before that posting goes out to the public. Okay. So some of the areas of support that an employment consultant will provide is current labor market information. So what are the skills that employers are looking for? What are employers expecting of the candidates that they're screening, as well as what's an in-demand job, what's not in demand. So we're kind of another set of eyes and ears when you're looking for potential employment leads, because we have pre-existing connections or we build connections with those employers. Okay, so we're building a network on your behalf. We're connecting with our colleagues, our past and current employers, our community contacts to look for those potential leads. We're providing current job postings that come into our site. So if an employer tells us they're looking to hire, we kind of post it internally and then we send it out to any individual that is registered with us and they get priority over everyone else. So we strategize on the best ways to approach employers using different marketing tools. So helping you create elevator pitches to cold call employers yourselves. Then for apprenticeship, we also do employer signing bonuses. So in terms of the placement, we would do the employer signing bonus for an apprentice. Okay. So as I mentioned, it is a team. So there's 2 people in the service team and together it's a joint effort to assist any individual. So to participate in our service, you must be 18 years or older. If you are a youth between 15 to 17, you will be required a document called a SAL, which is a Supervised Alternative Learning Plan. This is just an agreement between you, your parents, and the school saying that you are allowed to be excused from full-time studies to participate in employment. You must be a resident of Ontario. You must be eligible to work in Canada. Upon intake, so when you come into our office to complete registration, there might be some additional suitability that will be assessed by the program staff at that time. Obviously, some of us graduate at 17. I know I did. So if you are 17 and you have graduated, you can register for services without the supervised alternative learning plan. So for anyone looking to connect the services, this is the phone number for our Kitchener site and our Cambridge site. Please feel free to give us a call and ask to speak with a resource advisor to get started. They'll kind of tell you when you can schedule that appointment to come in and register. Thank you everyone for your time and good luck on your job searches.
Sorry, Nicole. For some reason, my video wouldn't start. Thank you so much, Nicole, for all the information you shared. Such a valuable resource, and I'm sure students listening and the ones that will be hearing it later on will definitely tap into that resource. So thanks again. We'll move on now. It's now my pleasure to introduce from Support Ontario Youth, Linda Aladi, Program Director of Construction Trades. So Linda, I'll welcome you to the floor or the screen. Thank you.
Hi, can you just let me know what you actually see right now?
We actually are seeing, you need to start from beginning. We see your slide deck.
Perfect. Okay, so let me just go to slideshow.
There, I think.
There we go.
Perfect.
Okay, so I can't see you, but you can see me in the slide deck. That's what's important. So hello, everyone. My name is Linda Alati, and I'm going to be speaking to you for the next 10 minutes or so about transitioning from high school, the apprenticeship or the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program to mainstream apprenticeship, and how Support Ontario Youth can support you in doing that. So like Juliette mentioned, I work for Support Ontario Youth, and or SOY for short. And basically, we are a not-for-profit organization that supports employers and apprentices navigate the apprenticeship system. More importantly, and very new to us, is our new skilled trades workforce development program, where we are happy to provide opportunities to help make you job ready for employment in the trades. And I specifically am the program manager for the 309A electricians, but there are other program managers to support other trades in the motive power and industrial sectors, as well as construction. So what is apprenticeship? So essentially, an apprentice is a high school graduate. Most of the apprenticeable trades in Ontario require a high school diploma. Some in the construction trades do not, but that does not mean that it does mean that having a diploma is optimal, even for those in the construction trade. Okay. So you're a high school graduate if you're an apprentice. You are definitely a student, just as you are a student in college and university. You are a student in apprenticeship. You're learning from an employer called a journey person, just like you would learn from a university or college professor or from your high school teacher. You're also, when you are an apprentice, you also are a college student from time to time when you are doing your in-school theory component. Because as you've probably heard before, apprenticeship is 90% on the job, but 10% in class as well. Okay. An apprentice is also an employee. And you would, as an employee, you would reap the benefits of getting perhaps employee benefits that you would get from the job, like paid vacation time, maybe the opportunity to drive the company truck, things like that. But more importantly, what everybody loves about apprenticeship is that an apprentice is an income earner. This is the only career pathway that you earn while you learn. And I'm sure you've heard that before. I just wanted to go over very quickly that there are 4 different sectors and over 144 apprenticeable trades in Ontario that span the motive power sector, the service sector, the construction sector, and the industrial sector. And if you are OYAP students, you have probably seen this chart before. What you should always take note of is that the red flag that's next to a lot of the trades identifies the fact that it is a red seal trade. That means once you become certified in a particular trade, you could the very next day move out to another province in Canada and get a job without having to recertify. Another important thing to notice on this chart is any trade that has a green triangle next to it means that it is a trade that requires certification. That means you have, in order to legally work in that job or in that trade, you need to go through apprenticeship and be certified. Okay. The other trades that don't have the green next to it basically means that yes, so it's a compulsory trade. So when they don't have the green triangle next to it, sorry about that. Technically, that means you can enter the job and not be certified. But at the end of the day, oftentimes employers will pay those that have their certification or their paper or their papers more, and also probably easier for you to get a job along the way, especially if you become unemployed. So really important to choose certification when considering a skilled trade. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, earn while you learn. The nice thing about this chart, it really brings to light the fact that after 4 years, if you look at the bottom, after 4 years of work experience in a trade, someone who is an apprentice earning while they are learning, they will earn anywhere from, $240,000 to $287,000 by the end of the 4 years. Okay, could be a little more, could be a little less, depending on the trade. And how's that compared to someone in a college or university pathway? Well, after 4 years, this is just based on tuition. Someone who is in a college or university pathway will likely be paying out around $36,000 for their to earn that education. Okay, and if they're going away to school, then you could probably double that figure. Okay, so there are many advantages to choosing the apprenticeship pathway. What is the apprenticeship pathway? So I'm just really going to go over it in a very general overview. The first thing you need to do, and it's the only educational pathway where you need to have a job first. So you need to get hired, okay? You need an employer to hire you. But when you get that first job, it doesn't mean right away that you're an apprentice. Something else has to happen first. You need to get registered. Sometimes when you know the employer that you're starting to work with and they already know you, sometimes you get to become that apprentice right away. Sometimes there is a getting to know you period, or what we would also call a probationary period, where an employer is looking to see whether you're a right fit for their organization, for their company, whether you're coachable, trainable, whether you have what it takes for them to invest time and money into having you as an apprentice. So the difference of just getting a job and working as a general laborer and being an apprentice is getting registered as an apprentice. And what does that mean? That means you need to complete an online application supported by your employer, and you need to be registered with the Ministry of Labor, Immigration, and Skills Development. So basically, you need to complete a contract, and that contract is between you, the apprentice, the employer, who is also your sponsor, and the government. And that's what makes you, that's what allows you to then work as an apprentice, and especially for those trades that are compulsory trades where you need to be registered, which allows you to legally work in Ontario. Okay, and some of those trades are like your electrician, your auto service technician, your truck and coach repair, your hairstylist. Those are just a few of those that really require apprenticeship in order for you to practice the trade. So once you get registered, even if you had been working if you have been working unregistered for 6 months, you only become that apprentice once that contract is signed. And that is when you become a first-year apprentice. And that is also when you get put on a wait list to go to trade school. So once you get registered, you're probably going to be working, at your job with the tools, gaining hours or competencies depending on the trade. And you will be working from anywhere for a year to some trades up to 2 years before you get that first offer of school. Okay. And for some trades, you have to go to school 3 different times during your apprenticeship. Okay. So remember, it's 90% on the job, but 10% in school. And the ministry will, and that it's not something you sign up for, the ministry actually emails you with your offer to go to school. And you get to choose when you register which colleges you are interested in traveling to become or to go to school for your particular trade. So it could be Conestoga, it could be Sheridan, it could be George Brown, wherever you choose or wherever you think you might be living in the future while you're doing your apprenticeship over the 1 to 5 years, depending on the trade. So when you're an apprentice, you're in school. At certain times, they will ask you to attend your trade school, which could last anywhere from 8 to 9 weeks, at a 2-month block, in which you will then complete your schooling, hopefully be successful in that schooling, and then go back to work. And that process continues. The work, then school, then work, then school process continues for how many levels it is for your particular trade. A 309A electrician, there are now 4 levels for that particular trade. Spans over about 4 to 5 years, and there are 4 levels of schooling. Once you've completed all your hours, and again, if I'm talking about the electrician, the 9,000 hours to become an electrician, and you've done your 4 levels of schooling, then you're ready to write your C of Q exam, and that is your certificate of qualification exam. Once you've completed your apprenticeship, you have 1 year to write that exam, and when you are successful in that exam, you are then a licensed journey person. And in particular, for those particular trades where it is a compulsory trade, you are now able to work in that trade independently on your own. Okay. The only other way to work in that trade is either an apprentice or a journey person for those that are compulsory trades. Okay, so for those of you who are here that are OYAP students, meaning that you are in a co-op program at your school in a trade, so you're in the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program, there are a couple of things that you need to keep in mind. When you complete any co-op in a skilled trade, you should get a certificate of recognition. Now, this can vary from school board to school board. Sometimes it's the certificate, sometimes it's 2 documents, and you get also a letter of recognition. These are really important because as someone who has signed on apprentices, this is the evidence that you have done a co-op and that you have earned anywhere between 240 hours to 444 hours in your co-op placement that can count towards your hours-based trades. Okay, so it's important to have these. And please remember, this is something that your co-op teacher will provide to you at the end of your semester. Okay, and if you don't get one, just remind them. They'll know what you're talking about. Okay, for those trades, if you were one of the students that got signed on as an apprentice while in OYAP, you would also have received Skilled Trades Apprenticeship Training Standard Logbook. This logbook is really important because it provides you of an overview of your curriculum for that particular trade. It's really important for trades that are competency-based, like the automotive service technician. Those trades like that require that every task that is something that you have to learn must get signed off. And maybe by the end of your co-op, maybe there's one skill there that you've mastered that your supervisor is willing to sign off on. And that, or maybe 2 if you're lucky. So that's why it's really important that you keep this logbook for those of you who received it. And remember, you only received it if you actually received a registered training agreement through OYAP. And then finally, for anyone else who has registered as an apprentice while in OYAP, it's really important that once you graduate and you finish high school, that you close out your RTA. That means your training agreement as an OYAP student. Because especially if you want to continue in the trade, it makes it easier to get you registered in the traditional pathway if that is done. And again, this is something that your co-op teacher will give you. It's not something they can do for you. It's something that you have to do on your own. And the instructions will all be on a sheet of paper for you to follow. And it may look like what I've got on the screen here. It may look a little different for your school board. So it's July 1st coming up. Okay, so what happens then if you are graduating? The first thing you got to remember is when you're done that co-op placement, whether you did it in grade 11 or now in grade 12, please update that resume. If you're interested in going into the trades, your resume is a very important tool. You should make sure that you have your name and your email address. A full address is not required anymore. But an email address, a professional email address, will go a long way. Make sure you have a brief objective statement similar to the one that we have here. Okay. Emphasize the skills that you've learned at your co-op placement. What experience do you have on any particular tools? Can you read blueprints? Depending on that would of course be dependent on the trade, especially if identify some of those job-specific trades. Make sure you include the fact that you have a driver's license. I can't tell you how many opportunities have been lost because apprentices did not indicate that they have a driver's license, or sometimes that they don't have a driver's license. Please work on getting that driver's license. Getting that G license is really important, especially if you're in the motive power or construction trades. List all those safety training opportunities that you've received, those certifications that you might have received through OYAP, like working at heights, or maybe you, through your SHSM programs, received other types of safety training. Please indicate everything that you've had, first aid training, WMIS, all of that on your resume. Make sure that you add in your co-op or OYAP placement. Put it at the top. Make sure that you put it under experience and not under volunteer. Include any relevant summer jobs. Include your high school, because remember what I had said earlier, having a diploma, a grade 12 education is critical for most of the trades out there. So include the fact that you did graduate from high school. And if any of you have done level 1 training through your high school at a local college, some boards call it accelerated OYAP or level 1, make sure you include that as well on your resume. If you don't have that, that's okay. Just make sure you have your co-op placement information on there and any relevant summer jobs. And please try to avoid more than a 2-page resume. For someone your age, 1 page, like you see here, is enough. Okay, so I just want to go talk briefly about some of the entry points to apprenticeship. Like I've mentioned already, direct to employment is one way. You finish high school, you get a job. Maybe it's with your former OYAP employer, maybe not. Maybe with that experience, you're able to apply to a job and be successful in moving on to your next apprenticeship or your next employer in that particular trade. You also may have the opportunity at this point to think about joining a union and working or continuing your apprenticeship in a union environment. This is as simple as, and I say simple with quotes there, as going on to union websites. So you got to do a little research on your own for your particular trade and find out what their intake process is, what their intake policy is, what their requirements are. For many unions like LIUNA, it's a simple online applications. Others, like the IBEW for electricians, might be a little bit more involved, but all their information is on their websites. And then, of course, we have the opportunity to enter apprenticeships starting from college, okay? It's important to note that many post-secondary programs or colleges offer a variety of trades-related post-secondary certificate and diploma programs. These programs are specific to a trade such as millwright or plumbing and generally last 1 to 2 years. You pay to go to school, but you also develop skills. And this is a great opportunity for someone who just may not want to start work right away. Okay, some of these programs may also offer, may also make you entitled to some exemption when you do your apprenticeship. Having done one of these programs does not mean you do not do an apprenticeship. It's just sort of like think of it as a pre-apprenticeship program, okay? So in some of these programs have apprenticeship curriculum embedded, which means that you can graduate with possibly some exemption to leveled schooling, okay? Then you have pre-apprenticeship programs that sometimes are offered through employment offices, but definitely through colleges. They might run 8 to 12 weeks long, okay? And sometimes these programs also offer exemption to level 1 schooling, okay, for your particular trade. Always do your research to know what type of program you're in and what opportunities or what kinds of exemptions that it may be able to provide you, other than just the teaching and the curriculum and the skill building and knowledge building that you may receive from the program. And then there are private colleges, which are great opportunities for many that will give you access to state-of-the-art tools, learning in a private college setting. Excellent programs, but please be mindful that these private programs do not provide exemption for ministry schooling when you are an apprentice, okay? So how can SOY help you? As I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, we now have something called the Skilled Trades Workforce Development Program. this is an opportunity. We are looking at supporting individuals and helping them become job ready for a career in the trades. So we will be providing individuals like yourself who have just finished high school, or other individuals who are looking for a career in the trade, for opportunities like a trade boot camp, an opportunity for you to come out and learn from experts in the field, try out the tools, and also walk away with a set of tools. So that's a great opportunity. We do essential employability skills workshops, as well as we do one-to-one coaching, and also offer safety training opportunities. So what you would need to do is scan that QR code. I'm going to have it again at the end of the presentation. Fill out our survey, and we will get back to you with the opportunities that would be available to you. Okay, something else that's available on our SOI website is all the opportunities that would be available to you once you're an apprentice. There are many opportunities for grants and loans, and we've culled all that information and created a one-stop shop for you. So please have a look at our website as a resource for you in the future, should you become an apprentice or continue as an apprentice. Okay, so just some helpful hints for yourself, or tips. Always surround yourself with tradespeople. Be open to opportunities. Remember that when you get a job, it doesn't mean you're apprentice right away. You might be working as a general laborer at first, and realize that it can turn into an opportunity with that employer as an apprentice. But always make your employer aware that that is something you're interested in. If you cannot get a job right away with an employer in the trade that you're interested in, consider working at places like Canadian Tire, Home Depot, Rona, a place where you can learn about the tools and the equipment and the supplies, and also connect with some of the contractors that go in and shop at those places. It's a great way to network. Okay, make sure you research your trade, understand the environment and the work culture. Try volunteering at Habitat for Humanity if you're interested in the construction trades, but do your research to know what the trade is all about. Like I mentioned earlier, can't tell you enough, get your driver's license, invest in quality tools and practice using them. Look up projects on YouTube, how to whip up a dish. You can learn how to cut hair on YouTube. Not that I recommend it. Okay, there's all kinds of things you can learn. So start, polishing your skills and doing your research that way. To get as much safety certification as you can while you're in high school. Try our program as well that will help you with safety certifications that you may need for upcoming jobs. Okay, so also network is important. Like I mentioned earlier, be open to all the opportunities. Come out to our boot camps. You'll have opportunities to network. But I know that Monica will be talking to you in a little more about what networking is all about. So again, here is our QR code for the link to our Skilled Trades Workforce Development Program. If you are interested in the support that we provide you to get you job ready and to help connect you to employment, please fill out our survey and we will get back to you. Lots of boot camps and lots of opportunities coming up soon. And that's it. Thank you so much and good luck to you all. I'm sorry if I went over.
No worries, Linda. Thank you so much. That was a wealth of information, very valuable, and I think of real benefit. So thank you so much. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce another great resource. ApprenticeSearch.com is here, and I'd like to introduce you to Monica Francis. She's the employment specialist and facilitator. Monica, I'd like to call you to share your presentation.
Hi, thank you so much. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so I'm hoping everyone can see my screen. So yes, I'm Monique. I am from apprenticesearch.com. Thank you so much for having us. And I want to put a disclaimer. There was such great information that was shared by Nicole and Linda, and a lot of it you will hear some repetition because the pointers that they're giving you, that is what it's going to take to get into the industry. So for some things, I won't spend too long on because some of the participants have already explained it. So I'll quickly just get into it. So I will talk a little bit about apprenticeship, about our services, steps to an apprenticeship, finding employment, and how we can benefit you now that if you're completing school, you're ready to get out there and look for employment, where we step in, and some of our programs and services. So a little bit about apprenticesearch.com. So we have been around for over 25 years. And I just want to say the way to kind of look at us is that we are like the Indeed of skilled trades. So we're a job search site and we host over 5,000 employers. We originally were just focused in Halton and in Ontario, and then we recently expanded to Canada wide. So if you are considering an opportunity in BC or moving to Alberta or anything like that, you can definitely use our website as a resource for you to seek for opportunities within the skilled trades throughout Canada. So a little bit about us. So what happens is you jump to our website and you create a profile. So what makes us a little bit different from like an Indeed is that once you do create a profile with us, you are then connected to a job coach and you can work one-on-one with them. That's where we look to support you with things like resumes and interviewing supports. And we look at the needs of each of the registered participants and determine, okay, well, maybe there's some gaps in your employment, or maybe there's some additional supports that could help to increase your marketability. We talk about our program and services with you and what we can do to help support you and basically just kind of go over your employment goals and from there help support you on your pathway. So a little bit about Apprenticeship 101. So I won't get too much into that because I really want to say Linda really gave a good explanation of that. So just the benefits, it's really getting into the skilled trades. It's in high demand. There's absolutely great earning potential. And if you are really one of those people who enjoy fixing or building something and you want to stay on the cutting edge of technology, absolutely this would be the field for you. I mean, you get paid to learn. So you earn while you learn. So that's a fantastic opportunity. And the thing is, there's so many transferable skills that if you decide to get into a skilled trade and you work in that for a period of time, you don't have to just stay as a journey person or a foreperson. You can have your own business or you can teach. There's so many different things that can happen once you've developed these skills, or you can transition into another skilled trade. So great opportunity for you. And I know you've seen this similar chart, so I won't spend too long on it. But again, the skilled trades are broken down into those 4 sectors of industrial, construction, service, and motive. And we offer job opportunities throughout all of these different sectors. So definitely check us out. I won't get into the breakdown because I thought that was well explained about the compulsory and the red seal opportunities. So that was well explained. But I do want to talk about once you have completed your OYAP or you've already chosen like your career of choice, let's talk about what's in demand. So based off of what's been on our site in regards to what employers have been looking for, the number one was electrician. Then there was auto service tech, carpenter, plumber, industrial mechanic, millwright, a gas tech, tool and die, sheet metal worker, horticulture technician, and truck and coach technician. So based off of what was trending for us, those were like the top 10 that employers were looking for. But in regards to job seeker, not too far off, applicants were looking number one, electrician, then plumber, electrician 309C, carpenter, industrial electrician, automotive service tech, industrial mechanic, millwright, welder, HVAC, and elevating device mechanic. So not too much of a variation between demand and what employers were looking for versus applicants. Now, in regards to the steps to apprenticeship, I will just kind of give an overview. So technically, these are the basic requirements. So you do need to be at least 16 years of age, but ideally, we want you to have completed high school, obviously have legal permission to work in Canada and meet the educational requirements based off of what the trade that you've chosen. So typically speaking, the one that is a focus is definitely going to be your math. And if you've done a physics or a calculus, those things definitely do help help. So employers will look at those pieces. Once you have met those requirements, and then you need to find an employer or a sponsor. So again, Linda did a really great job of talking about what that looks like, but this is where we would come in. We would come in when you're ready to say, okay, I'm ready to get out into the field. I need to find someone. Well, where do you look? How do you find an employer? That's how we step in to support you with that. Once you found the employer, then if they've hired you on as an apprentice, then you're going to apply for apprenticeship. But again, don't feel like this is daunting. You don't have to worry about this piece until you found it. Go. These are just the documents you would need, just the basic information as if, you know, for any type of job application. So your information, the sponsor's information, and then you will go from there. But something that Linda did mention that I thought was important, a lot of the times when you're seeking an opportunity, they may not hire you straight away out of the gate as an apprentice. You may start off as a helper because the employer does want to assess your skills. So this is where you're going to show your best, you know, you're going to put your best foot forward, and then you can be taken on as an apprentice. And this is what your registered training agreement looks like. Again, you don't have to worry about it until you've gotten that sponsor. So this will be between you and your employer. But the first point, again, is you just need to find that employer sponsor, and that's where we come in to support you. So how do we find employment in this skilled trade? So let's talk about what employers are looking for. So related experience helps. So you being an OYAP participant, that definitely helps, but it doesn't have to be that you've also had that experience. If you didn't, it's okay, because there's something called transferable skills that employers are looking for as well. So definitely things like your solid communication skill, organization, taking the initiative to do things, your creative problem solving, all those pieces help. The certifications that you've completed. So if it's WMIS, working at heights, those pieces help. If you have a forklift operator license, anything within those sectors, list those things on your resume because they're looking for those things. Employers love to see that you have a multitude of different certifications or abilities. That helps to increase your marketability. Also think to yourself, working in the skilled trades is not a 9 to 5. You may be starting at 7 in the morning. You could even be starting at 6 where you need to be on site. So you need to think to yourself, can I manage working a 6 to 6? Can I also work weekends? Can I work varying shifts? Employers are definitely looking at those pieces. Driver's license. Cannot stress enough that you do need to get your driver's license. I'm not telling you to run out and buy a car, but I'm going to say to at least have that G2. That is important, and then definitely go for your G license. But having a vehicle is definitely a plus, because you could be working at places where there is no public transportation, or you need to drive the company vehicle. This is very important. When you register with our site, you will even take note that on postings, it will say that you need your license. So have those, please. We talked about employability skills, so punctuality, communication, and having a solid resume. And I thought that Linda did a really good job on talking about what that would look like, but obviously we're here to help support with that. So the top skills based off of the survey that we've had with our employers are, again, our employability skills, communication, your technical skills related to that trade, basic tools related to the trade, and safety certifications. So again, why is this so important? It is a really big commitment taking on an apprentice, because that employer is teaching you. So you have to understand, although that you're there and you are an asset to the organization, you're still not working at a fast pace and you don't know everything. So they're teaching you. So it's important for them to ensure that you're demonstrating those skills that they can invest into you. Not just that, it will help you to pass your probation and want to take you on as an apprentice. And also, you may not stay at that particular opportunity, and your name, your work ethics, they matter. So how you're presenting matters. That will you get that recommendation? Will they refer you to someone? Because networking in that community of skilled trades, I promise you, an electrician knows another electrician, a welder knows a plumber knows a boilermaker. It's a community. So you want to ensure that you are representing extremely well, so you can continue to move forward within the field. So let's quickly just talk about, if you have limited skills and experience in the industry, how do you get an opportunity? So earlier I heard about volunteering. So places like Habitat for Humanity encourage that. List your transferable skills, talk to your network. your family, your friends, somebody knows somebody. I don't know if you guys have all heard of this concept of the hidden job market, but it's a thing. Only about 30% of jobs are really posted out there. A lot of the times they're internal postings, or it's someone who knows someone. A boss may say, we're short on staff. Do you know somebody? And then there's the referral right there. So please let those within your environment know that you're interested in pursuing whatever career it is so they can help to support you. Those trade-related competency trainings, those are extremely helpful. So we have them. I heard Soy mention them as well. Take advantage of those. Get your certifications as well if you can. So you're working at Heights, your WMIS. Attend events. Eventbrite is a great resource for you to learn about local opportunities out there, to find out about things like the Concrete Expo or a skills event like Skills Ontario. So put yourself out there. Earlier, I heard a conversation in regards to just the working in trade-related industries. So the Home Depots, the Ronas, those things help. A tile depot, it helps you to learn the lingo. It helps you to learn about things like measurements, all of those pieces. Demonstrate your employability skills in your job search. What does that mean? That means things like if you are given somebody sends you an email, respond in a timely manner. If you receive a call, how do you answer? Are you answering professionally? If you have a cell phone, which everybody typically does, ensure that your voicemail is set up and it sounds professional. All of those pieces. If you're job searching as well, I would say to you, check your spam folder. A lot of the times employers can email you and it could go to your junk, but ensure that you are demonstrating to them that you know how to respond in a timely manner and you are professional. Okay, and then research-free programs. So there's a bunch of pre-apprenticeship programs that you can take advantage of at post-secondary institutions, or you can do them at community partners. We can help support with that. So if you're interested, definitely connect with us. Why register with us? We're completely free. We're an absolutely free service. So we ask that you definitely register with us once you have completed high school, because our employers are looking for full-time candidates. Again, I mentioned earlier, we have over 5,000 employers on our site. For every person that registers with us, it's not a robot that approves your profile. It is looked through by our team. And we ensure that you have a resume that is uploaded. If your resume is not where it needs to be, that is okay. We will help you with that, but you do need to have a resume. After that, within 24 hours, you receive an email saying to you that you've been assigned a job coach and you're welcome to book a session. The sessions are virtual. We will share job postings with you, community resources, all of our programs, and you'll hear about any events that we're having. And depending on the situation, we do offer wage subsidies to some of our candidates that have participated in various programs that we are offering. So quickly, just what it looks like. You will create an account. Your account is verified. Once you have that verification, you're going to complete your profile, upload a resume, receive the approval from our team, and then you have access to job search. So this is what it looks like, apprenticesearch.com. You will complete this simple section, email, confirm it, first and last name, and create a password. You then get the email that asks you to verify. Once you have done that, you can complete your profile. Now, there are pieces that they ask how you identify. Are you just by gender, newcomer? I encourage you, if you're comfortable, to complete those sections. They are optional, but at times employers are looking sometimes for a certain demographic, like they may be wanting to hire somebody with a disability, and that is okay. So I do encourage you to do so. Something I will make mention, though, there is a section that asks you about distance. Please don't feel like, okay, I got to get a job. It doesn't matter where it is. There's locations from under 10 kilometers, 50 kilometers, 75 kilometers, and 75 kilometers and up. It is not realistic if you're living like in Kitchener or Waterloo and you're like, I'll travel to Scarborough. That may not be the best case scenario for you. So just be mindful of that. I always say 50 kilometers and under because you do want to have a solid work-life balance. Because if you need to be at work at 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning, is that realistic? So again, upload a resume. This is what it looks like where you get the approval that your profile has been approved. And then there you will get an email like this that says schedule a job coaching session. And if you choose not to, because you do not have to work with the coach, you can simply use this as a job search site. And then you can search through Ontario. We'll have the 144 trades that are here in Ontario. You can just simply look by province, you can look by trade, and then you have access to all of those profiles. And employers can also search for you as well. So how to be successful? Fully complete your profile to the best of your ability. If you need any supports, we're there to help you with that. You do have to identify a primary trade of choice. So if it's electrician or it's carpenter, choose that. You get a secondary option as well, but that is optional. Upload your most recent resume. Ensure that it has all of your safety certifications, things like your driver's license. If you started off and you only had your G1, you have your G2. Let us know that you have that as well. And definitely be active on this site. Some employers will scan and some employers will not scan. So definitely continuously check our site for any type of offers and be consistent. Job searching is not easy. So you do need to continuously be at it. And again, network, actively job search online, follow up with employers, give them a ring, let them know that you're interested. It makes a huge difference when you take the initiative to reach out to an employer. It's not easy, but it helps. So I just want to run through our program and services. So we do offer a program, Gateway to the Trades. It is a part-time virtual program. So if you're still a little unsure, you've done a trade, but you're not sure, it's a great intro into it. So we talk about the skilled trade careers, health and safety, numeracy support, because that is a little bit of an Achilles heel for some people. So we offer things like tutoring, and you have that throughout the program and afterwards. We talk about financial literacy and job searching. You also get access to 30 safety certifications. And once you've secured employment, we will help you with your personal protective equipment, and we will also help you with your tools based off of your trade of choice. And program participants do get access to a wage subsidy that we offer employers once they have hired them on. Something else that we recognize is that there are participants with females in the skilled trades, and we create a safe space for them. That this program is run every single month, and it happens in the evening. Again, it's virtual. And it is facilitated by us, but hosted by two females in this skilled trade, a welder and an electrician. And we bring in a guest speaker. Last month, we had a boiler maker. And this is where it's a safe space for women to talk about their journey, their successes, some of their challenges, and just various aspects of this skilled trade. So you can any female identifying can participate in this particular trade, in this session. And then we also have something that happens bi-weekly, which is our networking industry series. And it is a fantastic opportunity for you to learn about the various trades. So every other week we have a trade of the week. This week is actually heavy equipment operators. And we bring in the unions, we bring in those who work directly in the field, we bring in post-secondary institutions who will give you a really good understanding of what it's like in the field. You can then ask, those questions that you may have of what it's like in regards to career progression or how did they start off, because no two persons' journey is the same. So I find it extremely helpful. Again, this is virtual. It happens from 12 to 1. Anyone can just jump in to listen. You just jump to our site to register, and these sessions are recorded. Great learning opportunity. And then we also, so for those who have did their OYAP and they did auto service technician, if that was your OYAP, definitely reach out to us. We are hosting a job fair for Volvo. So we are looking for those who have experience in the field. They're hiring for these various locations. So if you are interested, definitely reach out to us, sign up at apprenticesearch.com and let us know that you've done your OYAP and it was auto service tech. And one of the coaches will definitely reach out to you to discuss that. And if you are interested in what Apprentice Search is like in the physical, we are hosting an open house on June the 19th. We'll talk about job search strategies and interview prep and navigating the labor market It's going to be a really great experience, and we'll have prizes and all of those fantastic pieces. So from 9:30 to 4:30, and we are located in Burlington. So again, you can just register with us and then we'll provide you with more information. And just a little bit about our site. So we do offer supports in regards to steps to apprenticeship. There's resources for resume and cover letters and job search guides and interview prep and financial supports available for apprentices, because the government does a great job in putting those things out there. The poster about apprenticeship and how to register for apprenticeship. So if you have questions or you're not certain about the journey, reach out to us. We are happy to support. Again, everything is virtual. We are completely free. So we're just another tool in the tool belt to help you in regards to the journey. So again, we can simply be a job search site for you, or you can tap into the resources that we have to help support you along your journey. And this is my contact information. Again, Monique Francis. I'm an employment specialist and facilitator with apprenticesearch.com. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Monique. What a wealth of information, and you did that very quickly. So thank you. There was so much to offer. So I'd like to now we're trying to wrap up as soon as we can, but I'd like to ask our two school board OYAP reps to come on. Leonard Bumbacco from the Waterloo Catholic District School Board and David Pope from the Waterloo Region District School Board. Give them the opportunity to speak, and then we'll get everybody back on. And if you have any questions, we can go, we'll start answering those.
All right, thank you, Julie. I'll start first. So thank you for everyone who showed up this evening. So there's lots of great information from our amazing community partners. We just have a few things we want to share with the students that are here for kind of steps before you leave high school. So there's still some time towards the end of the semester for you to use the resources that are available to you. So I know both school boards have My Blueprint, and both school boards also have Edge Factor. So these are, again, some amazing career research tools and things that you can reference to if you're still trying to figure out exactly what career you're looking for. I also want to make absolutely sure that, like, this is a really good takeaway for you, is when you leave the high school system. So when you leave high school and you basically lose access to your entire, if it's Google or Microsoft or whatever, but your computer accounts, you lose access to them pretty much right after you leave. So as soon as you graduate, you lose connection to all of that information. So I highly recommend that you put it in your calendar, do what you need to do, but make sure you back up all your stuff before you are finished high school. Because if you decide to wait until the day after or something like that, there's no guarantee you'll have access to that stuff. And there's no guarantee that you'll be able to get that back. More importantly is, if you're in co-op or have taken co-op, make absolutely sure you've backed up everything you have copies, and have like amazing daily logs. Make sure you kind of keep anything you've done for co-op. If you've done any certifications, if you've earned badges or certificates, keep all of that stuff, as you may need that in the future. So if you didn't get signed as an OYAP apprentice during high school, you may be able to present that information to your future employer and your future Ministry of Labor person, and try and get some hours. So get some of these hours accounted for that you did during co-op. So, but if you basically come to the table and you don't have any documentation backing it up, and you just say, hey, I did like an automotive service technician co-op placement, but I have no documentation, the odds of any hours being accredited are slim to none. So as mentioned before, is both school boards have an OYAP certificate. So make absolutely sure you connect with your co-op teacher at the end of the semester. They should be giving it to you automatically, but just make sure to say, hey, I want to get my OYAP certificate. It'll tell you the trade that you're in. It'll tell you the hours that you've earned, and it gives you that information. So that's one piece of evidence. But having your daily logs or weekly logs, having any of those extra certifications and things you did, like if you did working at Heights, make sure you have all that information in a package and you back it all up before you leave. I did post the links for the generic OYAP site, so the provincial site, and the sites for both school boards. And I think that's pretty much it. If you're pursuing, so if you are signed as an OYAP apprentice and then you're transitioning into a regular apprenticeship after high school, it is your responsibility, because it's your apprenticeship, to show a proof of graduation to the Ministry of Labor. So you will have already made some sort of contact with the Ministry of Labor if you're assigned as an OYAP apprentice. So making sure that you show them that you have graduated from high school, you show them that proof, that is one of the steps that's required for you to continue as a regular apprentice after your co-op placement is done. So, Mr. Bumbacco, I think I covered everything I need to, and we'll pass it over
You
to you.
did. Everyone covered it. What a great panel, and what a great night, and a wealth of information. There's just one thing I want to touch on, other than, you know, you have access to my blueprint scan, keep all your stuff, you have access to it for the rest of your life. So, well, as far as the platform's good for, is accessible to you, which is after high school. So please do all of that. I can only encourage you so much to do that. It's super important. But I do want to say is finish up strong. Right, it's all about pounding the pavement, making those connections, right? So there's lots of options here to make those connections. If it's not working at co-op for whatever reason right now, but you love the trade, you want to be in a trade or in that sector, finish up strong, finish up with a positive attitude, finish up positively with your current employer. Because I mentioned, heard somewhere online here tonight that, you know, they are connected. It is a small community of employers. They know each other. So maybe if you finish up strong with a current employer, they may have a connection with you in your area or in the region, or maybe outside of a region. They may be able to connect you with a place to send your resume and cover letter to start your apprenticeship or to get some skill trade. So it's really, really important that you continue to ask questions, continue to talk to your employer and the people that you're working with, not just maybe your current supervisor, but who's on the floor. What did they work? What was their journey like? How did they get to where they are now and working, and where you're only starting as a co-op student? There's lots of people there. So what I'm saying is network, build your Rolodex, have a lot of touch points, because a lot of opportunities will come out of that from there. So please, I encourage you all to finish up strong. I wish you all the best. Again, this recording will go out to you. So there's lots of good information to relook at and to reconnect with. So that's it.
Thank you both, Dave and Leonard, on all the information you helped with the students to just become more aware. So it sounds like they have to make sure they have everything covered before they're done high school here. I'd like to invite everyone to come back, all our panelists. It has been just a fabulous resource for these students, and we definitely, attendance was low, but we'll be sharing it with lots of people, the co-op teachers, and everyone that's in attendance here will be able to we'll be receiving all the information. So we'll get everybody up on the screen here, looking if there's any questions. The few people that are on, if any questions at all, this is your opportunity. We've got these amazing people in front of us here that can help answer anything. So please do not hesitate to type in a question for them. I just, it's such a great opportunity. I appreciate everything that was said tonight. What an amazing way to have a send-off to know what to do next, because I think it is a bit scary and not sure what steps are next. But after hearing all of this, there's so many opportunities that you can tap into, and I hope you take those up. I just see we got one question here. Oh, someone just said, great session, thank you. So yes, it was a great session. I was very impressed, and I'm glad that you were a part of it. Thank you, Kyle. Is there anything from the panelists, anybody has thought of anything else that they wanted to say, or amongst each other, if there's anything that
I just put something in the chat just to add, keep your pay stubs for those OYAP students that are being paid. Keep those in your portfolio, as well as proof of hours worked.
And I just wanted to mention that we do honor the co-op hours. I've signed up quite a few apprentices through our SOI sponsorship program. But as Mr. Pope said, please keep that documentation, because without it, we cannot grant the hours. So what your co-op teacher gives you, keep in a safe space. And what I've also found in registering apprentices is that how quickly the diploma goes missing. And we need evidence of that diploma, as well as something like a driver's license or a passport to show your date of birth. We need that to register you as an apprentice. So don't lose your diploma. If you do, then you have to wait and get a transcript from your school board. Okay, and that can delay the whole apprenticeship process.
Excellent. Yes.
I'll add one more thing as well, just because I've experienced this a lot with students and getting students training agreements signed if they're being signed during OYAP, is make absolutely sure you're checking your email regularly. I know students prefer to text, maybe social media or whatever, but communications from the Ministry of Labor are going to come through email most likely. They may have your phone number, but there's no guarantee they're going to call you. So making absolutely sure that you are checking your email, like turn your notifications on for your email, make sure that the information that you have given the Ministry of Labor is up to date. If you change your address, your phone number, your email, it is your responsibility to update it with the ministry when you're pursuing an apprenticeship. They're not going to call you and ask you and confirm things. It is your apprenticeship, so you have to be proactive, checking your email, updating them anytime any of your information changes, and just being proactive with all of those steps.
Excellent advice. I don't see any other questions coming in, and I appreciate everyone's time. And so I think we will wrap things up. I just want to say thank you to this group of panelists that have come on tonight. It has been an inspiring and very informative hour and a little bit. The Business and Education Partnership is so thrilled to be able to partner with these great organizations, provide the students with this opportunity. So like we said before, attendees, you will be receiving a follow-up email. It will come from the Business and Education Partnership once we download or upload, I guess, the video and all the resources and all the links that have been provided today. So you will be getting all of that. And I just want to say congratulations to those students that are going to be graduating from the OYAP program, and also anyone else that's been involved in it that is attended tonight. I also want to say kudos and congratulate those people who stayed on. There was only 6 that came on, but quite often they don't all stick with it, and they all did. So I commend you all for staying on, because you are going to it shows you're taking initiative, like all the things that were said tonight. It's already, you're showing that and taking a step towards preparing your future and getting all the information you can. That's the best way. So I just want to say all the best to you in your journey with your future career. And again, thank you to all of you who helped make tonight possible. And I wish you all a wonderful evening. Thanks.